It's your girl Ari, also known as Nadia Sabe, and we're back in the building for another installment of Dare2Defy Radio. And let me tell y'all something. My best friend is in town from fucking Chicago, and I'm so excited to talk to him, okay? My boy Phalair.
Yo,
how you doing, bro?
I'm chilling. I'm excited to be here. I'm a fan. All I do is watch the show, and now I'm here. I can actually like touch it and stuff. Like, I'm really excited to be here.
Right. So we're gonna debrief. It's been a minute for the folks in Orlando, so we're gonna talk about what the hell you've been up to. Specifically, this album that we just dropped. Right. If you don't know, Phalair just dropped a fantastic album called Why that essentially follows a journey of a musician and a man who is trying to become whole.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we started the show out today with Star and Sky, which is the single off of this record that we've really been pushing. And it's a great fucking song. Okay? So talk to us about it from your perspective of what it means. You mentioned a little bit about your engineer and that creation process as well. Right, let's get into that.
Okay, so when it came to Stars and Sky, like, I had the first beat since I was here in Orlando. Like, I had a lot of these beats kind of already made. Producer was like, bro, I don't want you to like put them together. I'm like, nah, we have to do that. That's gonna make it like an impactful record. But I wanted to have in the chorus part, I wanted to have something that was very edgy, but still like confident. Because confidence is, when people try to be confident, it comes off really corny. But like, I was trying to find like a great sentence that I could use that everybody will want to say at some point in their life, you know.
Which is
that these bitch niggas ain't know nothing, like
right?
That, you know, like, can't nobody tell you nothing if you being yourself, you know. And it's really just sentences I needed to tell myself, basically. Right. A lot of the choruses on this album are just things I need to hear from me. But me and my engineer were like arranging this record. It took us like 3 hours to get this right. To have like the little pad at the end, to have the vocals panning in your ear, like from the sample. It was really beautiful. Yeah.
Lovely.
And I also love Shit Talk Records, man. Like, that's like my bag.
Oh, I know.
Since Creep Away, we've been doing it.
Right.
You know?
We like to stun on people
every time
and show them what we have. So off topic a little bit in terms of the album itself. How does it feel to be back in Orlando? It's been a minute. Bro,
why did it get hotter? Like I'm getting cooked right now. Like, I walked outside, because it was like, when I first flew in, it was like, pretty moderate, pretty decent. Then, we left
it was
outside.
Early in the morning,
yeah, it was cool. And then it was like 12 o'clock. We walked outside, and I was like, like my whole body just like got cooked. So is it getting hotter here, or like what's happening?
I think, you know, climate change is real.
Oh, facts.
Climate change is just real. It's just getting hot. It's getting hot outside, bro.
Yeah, but aside from like physical temperature, it's like, this is like my second home, basically. So I felt really comfortable being back. It's way quieter than Chicago, which I appreciate, because I can like think for real. No wonder like the album was so like interpersonal, because the noise was, my bad.
Right, you just had to sit.
Yeah, the noise was like not as like erratic and stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talk to us about what you called Orlando and Florida like your second home. Why is that? What role has this space played for you?
It's like, it was finishing school for my like artistry. In Chicago, they kind of put certain people, certain artists that are hungry through certain ranks to like develop.
Right.
So I did a program called Donna's House with Ron Fest, who wrote for Kanye. Right. And he was teaching us how to make songs and make raps. And then I did L-Tab, which is like poetry, louder than a bomb. They don't do that no more because it got weird. But there was that. And then I came to Florida thinking like, all right, I'm just going to be on. Right. But it was really just teaching me how to navigate the space of being a professional artist. And I learned a lot about myself and a lot about what I see this industry as. And that's kind of what Why speaks to.
Like, what do you feel is the biggest differentiator between just an artist who's making music and like how you said, a professional artist?
The hobby rappers, the rappers that just do it as a hobby. The difference is it's like the investment. Like, some people are cool with not investing in their art, and they're just like, all right, I just went to the studio one time, it was fun, cool.
Right.
Versus like an artist is like, all right, I have this product that I want to put out, this piece of art that's gonna transform me as a person.
Right.
So this needs to be marketed a certain way. I need to be able to say these things on stage, and even just have certain affirmations while I'm on stage and talking to people. You know, like, that's an interpersonal thing. That's affecting my DNA. My kids are gonna feel that at some point. So the people that see it as a hobby, they just like, we just high rapping, like, which is cool, but like, it's cool for a little bit. But at the end of the day, like, when it's time to get serious, like, they don't really last that long.
Match up.
Yeah,
absolutely. So then, my second question, going off of that, what would you say is the biggest lesson that you learned being here within that context of learning how to navigate the business side of things?
Jeez, that question is just phenomenal. Like, wow. I think what I learned the most is that the thing that I was chasing was a little bit fabricated. Like, I thought, like, okay, you get signed and then they give you a chain, you get the car, you get the house, you get all, like, that's really what I thought it was. And it was very pie in the sky. But then I realized once that stuff wasn't coming immediately, I was like, wait, like, it kind of had a little bit of a shell shock for me, and it was kind of, it broke me down a little bit. But the biggest lesson was that those things do not at all make me the artist that's worthy of it. Like, I thought, you know what I thought before, but yeah, that it comes from inner outer, not anything else. No contract could put you on, you know. No fans could put you on.
Real shit, you gotta do it for yourself.
Literally.
So, how, because you spent 2 years here, and you built, you know, a community and a life here. So, what was the transition going back to Chicago like?
It was like, it really doubled down on the validation part with, like, because when I was here, we had shows every month, felt every week.
Right, we was working.
was working. Let alone beats and breakfast when I was on TikTok making beats every day for infinite days.
Right.
Forever. You know, and then, you know, rapping and going to school and in my own apartment and doing these type of things. It was like I had a lot of momentum I was building. And then coming to Chicago, all of that was gone because I can't tell you how popping I was in Orlando. We're in Chicago. And it made me, like, sit back and be like, bro, like, what am I without this? Like, if you don't have none of this, are you still a rapper? And I see all my friends kind of grow up without me a little bit. I see my girl grow up without me. My family's got a new kid, new baby. And I'm right back at my jerk chicken spot that I was working at when I was in high school. And I was like, this is not what I want to do. I literally did all of that stuff in Orlando to not do this. It was very humbling, for sure. Very humbling experience.
Of course, I know as your manager that you're not in that specific space anymore. You know, you've definitely
we
been...
teed up. We up now.
Yeah. So talk to us about that, just in terms of, like, making the change from, like, looking at your situation and being like, this is not where I want to be right now, to beginning to build that momentum back up in Chicago.
That goes to the casual artist versus the professional artist. Because it got to a point I was like, I went to this open mic. I was like, let me just practice. Let me just get a verse off.
Right.
And then people were like, what the hell? You're, like, really good. Like, you should be doing this. And I was like, I guess. And then I went from doing that open mic to going here, then I did a showcase, and then it just built like that. And then I looked up in a year time, and we sold out the Promontory. me and my dad. So it was like that momentum just kind of built. But it really was because I was here training for a long time. Like I had the momentum of like how I wanted to be as an artist. So in any space, I'm going to look above the competition there because I've been in the gym for, like you said, 2 years. But I also had to make a choice, though, if I wanted that life again. I really was kind of on some, like, I just want to be a good boyfriend and, focus on.
And a good big brother.
And a good big brother.
Son,
and just, yeah, but then, people would be like, bro, where you at, bro? Come on, man, where the raps at? I'm just like, bro, if you know what I've been through.
I don't want to rap right now. So, how does it feel to know that people are waiting on what you have to say?
I like low-key, because that it adds the pressure to it. But I think about what I want to say now. At first, I used to be like, man, bro, like, they want me to
what
do
do
this.
People need to hear?
Yeah, but now I'm like, nah, bro, it's what I need to hear. Because I'm everybody. Everybody is me. Like, we're the same energy, So if I treat it like I'm this and I'm deeming this message to you, that's a weird position to be in, which is a position I thought I was in at some point, to do the ego and just like clout into your head, But now it's like, nah, bro, like, we here together,
Going through this thing, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a really good leeway into talking about why. And why it was important and why it was a necessary project for you to make.
Okay, so this project is necessary because when I'm in the position I want to be, I need to have something that's going to anchor me into who I am. And that's exactly what that album is designed to do. So from the interlude of my mother speaking to me, telling me that I am loved, to the names that I dropped in there, to all of these things are designed so that when I'm in the position and things get weird, because they will get weird.
Right.
You're going to be right there with me. It's going to get weird. I want to be like, I can hear this album and be like, this is who I am. This is who I am. This is what I'm doing. And it's a bold statement to say, this is who I am.
Right.
And live in that, So now I could be anything now that I know I have this.
Right, that foundation.
Yeah, for real.
Absolutely. Before we get into you asking me some questions, because I know you want to ask me some questions.
For sure.
Talk to us about Thing Called Love and the creation process, number one, and then, of course, like the context of what it means.
Okay. So, Thing Called Love was the first verse I ever wrote being in Orlando. Like, when I was, like, feeling mad lonely and, like, I felt like I made a mistake to come out here. Because I saw everybody progressing. And we lost a few family members. And I'm like, bro, like, I shouldn't have left. What did I leave for? Did I leave to try to be famous? Like, what am I doing for real? And we were on the laptop. So I'm like, bro, this is not busting. Like, I got gypped out my money. But, shout out to Full Sail. But I'm saying that I did that and I was like trying to just get it out. And the second verse was like, all right, you need to have that conversation with yourself. Like, are you going to give up on you? Because everybody's going to pass you up at some point. Everybody's going to do their own thing at some point. But you're going to have yourself at the end of it. And the only thing you ever need for yourself is, like, self-love. Because ain't nobody else going to give it to you. When I'm like, walk a mile on my Birks, I hate to be that guy. But, like, but I have to, because just wanted the context. But I feel like A$AP Rocky right now.
No, you
but
did.
Like, the walk a mile on my Birks, because I'm in Florida wearing Birks all the time. You'll feel pain from the first step you take. I state the stats to remind you my worth. The stats is the likes, the plays, the validation from all of these different other sources. So it's like, that's what us as independent artists are fighting to get. Thing called love. And it's because love is not a thing, it's energy. Right. So it's like, we're fighting for these stats. We're fighting for this outside validation that
that isn't even really fulfill you.
Yeah. Right. So, it was kind of a cautionary tale to be weary of that. And it's the best affirmation I could ever say to get me out of depression. Like, period.
Which specifically is what line?
I just need love.
Oh, got you. Okay.
I just need love, like, cause.
Yeah, I think that's the most human thing.
Yeah.
Is just needing to be.
But see, I'm also realizing that, like, I was watching Pixar movies the other day because I'm a child, and I was like, all of these are not about it's like Toy Story. Like, it's not about the toys. It's about just people loving to play with toys. Like, Moana isn't about her trying to find this monster. It's about love for the environment. Like, so if you could find the love in whatever you're doing, you can enhance that and make that a story. You know, because Pixar is just the most popular thing. But I was like, man, like,
they're good at what they do, though.
Yeah, but like, if we break it down to just that and simplify what we're doing, right, we could come up with the best ideas and just build on that, add sprinkles on top. People look at like the sprinkle and be like, the sprinkle. It's like, nah, bro. Like, it's the cake within it, you know.
So, how do you feel like you, or not you specifically, but like, how do you feel like people can start thinking that way and start moving towards love?
But I think that, man, bro, it's something that you gotta kind of taste. Like, I have a loving family. I got you. I got like Orlando and Chicago. I got places where I've been loved immensely, and I cherish that, and I appreciate it. So because of that, because I know how it feels, I know how to generate it. Giving up on love is lame, as it pertains to love and everything. When you first met me, right, and we were managing other people at the time. What made our journey different from everyone else's journey?
We got to know each other as like human beings first.
Facts.
Definitely, like, no shade. The folks that I had worked with before definitely looked at our relationship for what they could get out of it. And obviously, I'm not managing either of them anymore. So, like, you know, I got, and like, shout out to Kenny. I have a lot of love for Kenny. Like, he just dropped something recently.
It's fire.
But it was just one of those things where it was like, I wanted to learn, I wanted to do stuff, they wanted to learn, they wanted to do stuff, but I never built that real foundation with them as a human being of, like, understanding who they are, what they want, and how I tie into it. It was more of just like, oh, I have skills that can help you. Oh, you got skills that can help me. Like, let's, you know, and me and you, it took us like a year
before,
or so.
Because I feel like people don't understand our relationship as much as
everyone thought we were dating for so long, like,
for sure,
you know.
But it's like, nah, this is like a real relationship, like a understanding, and we had to grow together. There were some things I was doing, you like, bro, what are you doing? I'm just like, hey.
And likewise, bro, like, there's been plenty of times where Phalair's looked at me like, Ari, what is going on? Yeah. You know? But that's that real love where it's like, all of that comes from a space because we want to see each other at the best of who we are.
Which is, like you said, that's love in the industry. Not like, hey, you're going to put me on, and I'm going to be friends with you because you're going to put me on. Like, no, bro. It's like, it's a deeper thing. Which is something that in the industry isn't very common.
Yeah, I'm definitely, like, I'm optimistic because I feel like when it comes to music right now, there are so many young people doing really cool shit that, like, there's hope. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's we're in a different era.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the bullshit is definitely still around, and, like, the structure is still there, but we are watching the new executives find their playing ground and learn, you know what I'm saying? Like, building their acumen and their networks and their businesses. That's another thing, is, like, a lot of the young people that are doing cool shit are independent, fully independent. They're not backed by anybody. They're just having fun, doing shit with their friends. And that gives me hope because all that is based in love. All that is based in, like, I fuck with you, I see your vision, like, and we're gonna make shit happen together. So, yeah, I feel like music is in is in a good place, but I am so tired of just like pessimism. Like people need to
That's
be like.
That's a big word. You're gonna have to break that.
I'm very tired of people always thinking the worst and going towards the worst of the situation. Because I used to be that type of person, 100%. And like I want people to be more imaginative about like what the world can be. I feel like we're in a space where a lot of people just think that like everything fucking sucks and it's always going to be that way and there's nothing we can do to change it. And like that's one of the reasons why it doesn't change.
But I feel like it's the environment, bro. Like in Chicago, it's a lot of people that are just like content with where they're at. And I was people,
one of those people,
you know, because
right.
I'm like, my city, I have the best city in the world, and anybody that thinks otherwise, I will debate you until I turn blue. But the thing is I've never been to London,
right?
I've never been to I've never been to Africa. So it's like I'm saying this because of like what I think is good, you know, and it's like if it's always something more, then it can always be something good, you know, something better rather.
I think that's a great way to go into Promised Land.
Facts.
Before we play that song, I have the first question is, of course, just going back to the creation process and what does it mean to you? Let's start there.
Okay, Promised Land is the interpretation of what the industry is. Like they have these promises that they give you that you think is going to be something to uphold you, but it's a fallacy and it's a mirage. I'm not really going to dive into what Promised Land means in the Bible, but it's similar to, it's that type of energy. So the first verse is me kind of dissecting my first feelings being in Chicago and what that means and how I was feeling towards the industry at that time. The second verse is more so about, again, me not giving up on myself and me not being a part of anybody else's promised land. And then we have this amazing part where we have this singer come in. She's like one of my favorite singers on the entire planet. And production-wise, I wanted to have something where it never got boring. I learned that from Keith Andes. I ain't gonna lie. It's like, for the second verse, you see it's kind of building up to a climax, and we do that chorus. And then we add those vocals in it to kind of give it that, like, extra, like, triumphant feeling. Where it's like, okay, if you could visualize this, we're on a sandy mountain, and it's like
we just put the flag
flag down, and it's like that energy. How can I exude that? Even we have a little bit during the, when we take the melody out towards the second verse, we have the piano that comes in and just does just a little hint of something, just to kind of bring your mind back to it. I love the details. I'm big on that, and I like things that are triumphant and big. And, like, and then in the last part of the song, it's like the "I've been led astray again" bridge, which talks about what a lot of like artists have felt once they get to that point. They're like, "Wait, bro, this is not it.
Not what the fuck I thought it was.
This is not." So that's the led astray part. That's what that kind of means overall.
So before we hear this song, I want to ask you, fuck like the mirage aspect of it. What is your true promised land?
To cement my father's legacy and retire my mother. That's it. That's the whole. Oh, my bad. To cement my father's legacy and retire my mom. That's the whole reason we're here.
And if you don't know that by this point about Phalair,
that's just what we're doing. So, but that, even hearing that and having that, if you would ask me that years ago, I'd be like, just to be on. Like, what is that? Like,
right, what is that?
Yeah, because you can't we good?
Yeah, you're good.
You can't really manifest what you want unless you're specific. You can't manifest what you want unless you're specific. That part.
All right. So with that being said, let's give a listen to Promised Land.
Promised Land.
Man, those 3 tracks personally are like the standouts, bro. The whole album is amazing, but those 3 they hit Every single fucking time. So, really quickly, before we go ahead and...
Girl, I don't want to leave, man. I feel you, though.
But unfortunately, yes, we must. Do you have any other questions for me before we...
I wanted to talk to you about the scene in Orlando a little bit.
Let's talk about
it. Jeez. So in Chicago, it's a lot of things I'm trying to fight against, like gatekeeping and, building more platforms or inspiring people to build their own platforms, not inspiring people to try to get on top of other people's platforms and scream the loudest, But I want to see what in Orlando, what is needed for this scene to kind of grow in a positive way.
Right. Honestly,
sorry about that.
And I'm gonna clip this and tag, bro. We need people like Isaiah Falls.
Who's that?
Isaiah Falls. She a Florida baby.
Word?
He's from Orlando.
Okay. I thought
from
he was
Orlando.
Like Miami or something.
From Orlando. Came up in Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
But he's sticking around. He's not going to New York or LA. Like, he'll be out there, but he's keeping his home base in Orlando. And he's one of those... He's setting the example. We need examples. We need artists and companies and people to, like... show people that it's possible to do this at a high level
and still be
here. Because one thing about Orlando artists who have made it, none of them are here.
Same in Chicago, bro.
None of them are here. If they're not in debt or in jail, they're in a different state
or in LA or New York.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's created this idea where it's like, okay, you can come up in Orlando, you can come from Orlando, but you're gonna have to leave at some point.
Yeah.
So we need people like Isaiah who are like, no, fuck that. My community is here. Like, I went to his release party and it was just so much love, so many people, and like, and it was all that strength of community. You know what I'm saying? That's what we need. We need people to set the example. Because, like, for a long time, I've been saying that Orlando needs structure. Orlando needs the corporations to come in and give us some fucking money. Like, that's what I've been saying. And I think that that's still true. But it kind of goes back to a lot of the sentiments of what we've been talking about, of, like, nothing is going to be made by something outside of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, structure can help. Yes, like, that money can help. Like, those connections can help. But, like, if Orlando doesn't buck up and do some shit about the situation that we're in, like, even compared to when you've been here, there's not even half as many events, showcases, things going on in the city anymore. And I can't answer to you why that is, but, you know, yeah.
When you said, like, staying in your hometown, I think about, like, Not Like Us, right? Like, the Kendrick record, right? First off, Team Kendrick. If you're not Team Kendrick, I don't know what else to tell you.
It's, clipped.
But when it comes to, like, him making that type of record, and then his whole city the
whole fucking state
just came back to him. Not that they went anywhere, but it was just like that energy was like, oh, like, what is my Not Like Us?
Right.
You know, who's the independent artist that's like, this is my town, this is where I'm from. I definitely am inspired by that energy. Like, a lot of times I would just say, like, I was from the South Side of Chicago when I was here, but now it's like, I'm from South Shore. This specific neighborhood is where I am, and this is what I am.
Right.
And that is the lake, that is the history that's there, and you become a lot of different things. So when you were talking about the artist that you mentioned, him saying, I'm staying here, it's like, that's almost better, because then you go to other places, you thin out.
Right.
Versus you have, like, your nucleus, you just kind of grow from there. It's like, that's a lot better. And it's better to be independent. Like, I mean, that's obvious, but, like, bro, like, For real, for real.
Yeah, it's good to be able to make your own fucking decisions and do what you think is best for your community and your career and your fucking soul. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely.
But for a long time, I definitely thought getting signed was the move, though. I'm not going to sit here and act like I was.
Yeah, I mean, shit. We've had... you know how many times I've sat down with this man and been like, don't get desperate. Don't get desperate on them because they're going to finesse the hell out of you. So and it's like you said, like, it's not even just musicians too, like all creatives like go through that situation where they have this ideal of what making it looks like, and the further it's like anything, it's I was saying that to my mom the other day, like the age-old thing of like the more you understand about the world, the more of a cynic you become, you know. So
you cooking, that was hard.
It's a hard thing to navigate, but I think just going back to like leading with love and being compassionate. That was one thing that I wanted to talk to you about a little bit, is like, because I personally see love as compassion. Do you feel the same, or do you feel like they're different in certain ways?
Define compassion in that context.
I view compassion as being able to recognize somebody else's emotions and genuinely care about them.
Empathy. Oh,
yeah.
Gotcha.
Empathy, compassion.
Yeah. I think that's the highest form of it. Like, I see you so much, I can alter myself to help you see where you're messed up or where you need help. That's like the biggest form of love. It's almost like that's like complete absence of ego, because you're just their reflection. Like that's the deepest you could ever go. Because fear is all ego, like the whole time. Like, you know, because why would you not be able to be the best? Or not best meaning like better than other people, but like
the best version of yourself.
Like,
right.
That's an illusion that you won't. Your ego is telling you can't do that because of you're a black man, or you're from Chicago, or you're only 5'6", or whatever whatever the thing is. It's like, but if you remove all of those things and you just listen to your you know
who you really are, right?
You could do anything. But to be able to see that in somebody else and then alter your inner person to help them,
right?
That's selfless, that's all love, basically. That's all love.
This has been a great conversation.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start coughing in a couple of minutes, so
Facts.
Thank you guys so much for listening. We're gonna play a couple of great submissions from people all over the country, who let me listen to their music and play it if I want to, you know. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. Today was a really great show. I mean, I have such a great guest.
You're my best friend, so it's not even like a show. This is just us talking.
This is supernatural, and we talked about a lot of great shit. So I'm super happy to have you here.
Come on,
you know,
I'm grateful to be in Orlando, back here. I needed the break. Chicago is crazy, but I love Orlando forever. I love it because you're here, mostly. Make sure you guys are streaming the album. Stream Why, Kiss a Baby. I don't know, like be a good person. At least attempt to.
You can start today.
You can start today, bro.